What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I'm your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great day. We've got some Eagles coaching news here, so we're going to jump right into it. It's a little under the weather, but I'm going to try to put this out on my lunch break today. So hopefully get this out here. A little early. This happened last night, but look, we're going to talk about this. We talked about Joe Kasper the other day, but we just acquired two new pieces to the Eagles secondary. So let's jump right into it. Appreciate each and every one of you hitting that like button, subscribing. Love to hear your thoughts. But Joe Kasper, we know with the Eagles just before last season here, obviously he left us to go to the Dolphins, Vic Fangio as his safeties coach. But we talked about the familiarity there with Vic Fangio and this scheme, what the Eagles have been trying to do here on defense, what they've been building with all the pieces they've been signing, trading for, the reason they've already been built for the odd fronts, the even fronts, the multiple scheme defense. And Joe Kasper, somebody who's really going to help with a very important position. And, the titles haven't been named yet, but presumably going to be the safeties coach. We talked about it, probably going to be a safety, a corner, and maybe even a nickel corners coach, along with a defensive backs coach who's kind of just keeping the whole thing as a head. So right now, Joe Kasper looks like he'll be the safeties coach for the Eagles, but we'll wait to get those titles. But an exciting young man to have in this building. Talked about it. He's very young, but we liked him when he was here. And when he left, it was unfortunate. You really liked the kid and thought he was able to do a lot of, intense stuff here where I thought, look, you never know with these young kids what they're going to become. They're, assistant coaches, but glad to see him back and with Vic Fangio. Now, another name, another young man here, and 32 years old, Christian Parker. He is known as a bright mind around this league, and this is a great get for the Philadelphia Eagles. He was another guy that was there with Vic Fangio, obviously with the Denver Broncos there, but spent some time with the Packers before going with Vic Fangio there. And obviously holding it down since he's been gone, but now going to join the staff. And, this is awesome because you get another guy who somebody just like with Kasper and Vic Fangio, bright minds that are always looking to evolve, looking to adjust to how the NFL is changing. And, these guys are really going to help at very important positions. And this is a guy that presumably is going to be that defensive backs coach, the guy who kind of runs it all, and he'll have little sex within, that coaching department with, as I mentioned there, cornerbacks, nickel corners, and safeties. But I think this will be the top guy here. And, Fangio, a huge fan of him. And the Broncos could have blocked this move, but they're giving him a chance to move on. And I think he could be the defensive passing game coordinator. So he's game planning how we're going against the passing attack. And I think this kid is perfect for the job. And obviously, you're going to hear a lot of each year. It's so funny, whenever you hire a coach or something, people think that, they're coming up with some crazy thought process that no one's ever thought of. Like, oh, yeah, well, now they might want to go after some Broncos players or Dolphins. Like, yes, a lot of times these players like playing with familiar coaches. They like, the coaches like going with the ones they're friends of. And I know a lot of, Eagles fans get upset that these guys are human beings and they have friendships. And, you saw a lot of complaining this year about people getting along and being on the same page. But we actually want that as a team. We want these guys to be a brotherhood, get back to how they were when they won the Super Bowl. So for me, a great get. Two guys Vic Fangio is familiar with, and he brought them on for a reason. Now, been keeping you up to date with all of these coaches that have been added here. You can see on offense, we have Kellen Moore and Doug Neusmeyer. Then on defense, Vic Fangio, now Hurt, Parker, and Kasper. And there are breakdowns of each and every one of them. So you can go check those bad boys out. Let me know your thoughts on those too. But after we, this thing kind of gets filled out, I always do each year a full show where we talk about all of them. But I will individually break these down for you, let you get to know some of these guys, what they've been able to do. And yes, I would love to have Patrick Surtain. I would love to have Justin Simmons. And, there's a lot of guys over there, Deshaun Elliott with the Dolphins that could definitely, they're free agents, maybe a trade for somebody. Those are all possibilities. So you're going to hear the media going with that. Yes, man, free agency is coming. So we will be adding players. And I look forward to breaking that all down with you. Hopefully you saw the video last night, broke down the top positions of need, went through all the positions, and we went in depth at each position, talked about where the Eagles need to focus on the most in free agency and the draft. Go check that bad boy out. But until next time, I'm Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. If you got anything from this, do me a favor, hit that like button. You can always subscribe down below. But until next time, you all stay safe out there. And as always, Val Passaros to my Brazilian friends and to all the rest of you sickos. Go Birds!